Hello, once again, welcome to F.I.N.D Relationship, episode 50. Today episode is a really landmark for us. It's 50 episode that we've been live coming on to you, bringing on to you marriage tips that have really changed a lot of people. Thank you for every one of you who have been giving us feedback, how this have really helped you in your marriage. It's a journey. It's not only restricted to those who are married, also the singles that are in this particular platform. Today's episode, I'm dealing with a topic that says marriage is not a burden. Marriage is not a burden. And here today, I'm coming onto this platform with a beautiful young lady. She is a second-year student in Pearson University here in Cape Town. And I just want her to greet the platform before ever we get into the episode today. Ronke.
Hello everyone, my name is Ronke Calebs. I am the third daughter of Apostle Caleb C. Calebs. I study a bachelor's degree in information technology. It's my second year and it's so good to be here.
Awesome. Ronke Calebs, we brought you here to let everybody know that this platform is not just for married people. And I think that the best time to prepare for marriage is when you are still single. And if you catch up with these values, it's really going to go a long way to help every one of us. Now, before ever I get into discussion of today, there is something I saw in a Nigerian tabloid, especially on the online newspapers. I want to read it and then we take it from there. This particular tabloid said 4,000 divorce applications in Abuja court in 2 months of 2020. Wow. This particular write-up is an Abuja-based lawyer, an Ebrefa, on Twitter on Friday, February 21, raises an alarm on the 4,000 divorce applications that have been filed this year alone. The lawyer lamented that it is really much considering the fact that the year is barely 2 months. She said also that some of the marriages seeking legal separation are not up to a year. Wow. And then she said marriages are hard work as it takes a lot from both parties involved to make things go well. Perhaps this is why and what some people say when they say that a good marriage is an achievement. Why it is better choice to go separate ways when things no longer work. A broken marriage is a dent, a mark that something serious must have gone wrong or that both partners were just never ready. And Ibrahim added that some of the marriages involved were just a year old. She ended her tweet by asking, what is really happening? What is really happening? This is one of the background that brought us to this particular studio on episode 50 today, to look at certain things that are affecting marriage relationships, and that's why we're here today to look at them. The first thing I'm introducing to you when it comes to what is it that is causing this colossal marriage break. It's so disturbing because this is Nigeria, this is not Europe, this is not US, where we are used to a lot of breakages in marriage. But this in Nigeria, this is an African where there are cultural influence, where there are religious influence, and where there are strict family values. And if this is happening here, then the whole world is in serious trouble. So let's begin to look at it again. One of the major things that I believe that needs to be dealt with, that contributes to the uplifting of marriage, that can stop divorce, is what we call upbringing. The factor of upbringing in family with strict shaping values is an important catalyst in fulfilling marriage, right? Upbringing. Okay, I really want you to talk a little bit about upbringing. You are not married. Are you in relationship? Let's talk about it here.
Not yet. No.
How old are you?
No. I am 19 and turning 20 this year.
Okay. And then I want you to talk about upbringing, because we believe that if people are raised, if ladies and young men are raised in a family setting that have strict family upbringing, it have a way of shaping them and preparing them for marriage. What's your take on this?
I believe that upbringing is the paramount factor that carves a person into who he or she is going to become in the future. So I am going to use my family as an example. For example, one of the rules we have in our house is if you want to get a boyfriend, you make sure he's capable of taking care of you and make sure he's capable of paying your fees. That rule entails the fact that you have to know what you are getting yourself into. And you see, upbringing is something, it's the most important part of a child's life. If you don't want to give your child money, if you don't want to give your child silver and gold, upbringing is the most important thing a child needs. Like amongst all our family members, we are 4 girls, and we have learned how to be independent. And this is not because we woke up with that habit. It's because it has been instilled in us. We work and we know how money is made. We know how to manage money. This is because it's part of our upbringing. And so we are not in a rush to get into relationships or marriages based on what we see, based on the material we can get, because we have been taught the ways of getting these material stuff. So I believe that upbringing has created a good version of me. It has created a woman out of this little girl that
but those days when we started the strict discipline and putting up barriers, and you didn't like it.
No, I have the behavior of my father. He doesn't like being under any power. I do not like when people tell me what to do, no matter how old you are. So it's something that you have to put your mind in. And the thing is, our parents did not just tell us this is what you do and without explaining. Most of the times, kids find it hard or difficult to go under their parents' rule because the parents do not make them understand. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because you as a parent, you have told us this is what you should do and this is why you should do it.
Yeah.
So I believe that if a child sees exactly, and if you become an example to that child will grow up in your footsteps. Charity begins at home. Okay. So I believe that the upbringing, the way you treat your child, the way you show that example to your child, actually carves the future of that child.
Okay, that's awesome. From Ronke Caleb's, psychologically, it's a basic fact that from 5 to 7 years, the basic personality traits or the basic character unit of a child is formed between the age of 5 and the maximum is the age of 7. In other words, what is stated unto us here is that the basic core character values of the child are what she or he picked up from the family. Yes. The family is responsible, not the peer pressure, not the school, not the church. Before ever the child start going to school, before ever the child start associating with peer pressure, before ever the child begin to be a part of the church family, the biological family sets the basic formative personality character of that particular child. With that piece of information, you can do a lot to decide the kind of value that your children carry. And the thing, how it relates to marriage here, is that people that were not raised up from proper family value system they are problematic in marriage.
Yes.
You know, those of you that come from some aspect of the world, you discover that whenever your son or your daughter says that I found somebody to marry, the basic tradition of our people then is that they go into those families to make inquiries. Who is the father of this girl? Who is the father, the mother of this particular man? Because it is believed that there is something in you that came from your mother, and there is something in you that came from your father. Our fathers, they didn't have the level of exposure that we have right now. They didn't have internet, but they have all these traditional ways, and it tallies with what made their marriages very stable, because they will not allow their child to get into a family that they don't understand. If they make inquiries and they discover that that family is armed robbery, there is something about them, they are into divorce, they are into all kinds of things, automatically they are going to tell their daughter, they are going to tell their son, you cannot take a wife from this particular family, or you are not getting into this family. Why? Because whatsoever is in that family was the basic thing that the child picked up. So parents, I'm trying to put it onto you that you play a very vital role in deciding the future and the marriage duration of your child, of your daughter, of your son. If you raise a young man with high quality of value, no matter how he falls in love with a lady who came from a background that have no values, please don't sign that particular marriage. I mean, they all know here that how I put up my own structure, that if you say you want a boyfriend now, okay, there's nothing wrong about it. I'll take up my hands from the payment of the school fees and allow the boy to finish the payment. I have no problem about it. But if I have somebody coming in to relieve me, it's okay by me, but you cannot be under my roof and not stay under my values. It's not done. It's not really done. So we need the old-fashioned family value system, very strict in raising up the children, because train up a child the way he should be, and when he grows up or when she grows up, she is not going to depart from it. Another factor that is very important, it looks so tiny, and it's something that people also look down. You know, when your generation, when you fall in love, you don't ask some questions. You know, that's why I tell you people, I say that you don't fall in love with your heart only. Yes. You also need to fall in love with your head. You don't have allowed emotions only to go. You also need to be logical. You understand? Because after the kisses, the bills have to be paid. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. So another factor is visionary person. You need to find out this thing that I'm loving. I've taught you people on don't love what you cannot love, okay? Don't love something you don't have enough love, and when you start loving what you can love, at the middle of the way, your love gonna finish, and when your love finish, divorce is setting in, whether you believe it or not, it's gonna happen. So, but another factor is visionary person. Someone with visions in life, a man, a woman that have been able to capture and define his or her vision, have a unique way of committing his or her life into her vision, more than the one who have no vision. The Bible says that where there's no vision, the people live a life that have no restraint. People run wide. People go to party. Well, have you ever gone to party before? Talk to me. Have you ever been to nightclub or day club? Talk to me, and why you engage or why you refuse to engage.
Unfortunately, I have not visited any clubs.
Okay.
And the last party I attended was when I was around 8. It was a child's birthday party. Okay. And first of all, I will not say it's because of my parents. The thing is, the way they have trained me, I've grown with this feeling of why go to a place where there's nothing I'm getting from there? I am a business-minded person, so whatever I do, wherever I spend my time, I must get profit from it. And actually, going to the club is making me profit another person. So why would I go to the club?
Okay, you pay for the person.
Yeah, you pay for drinks.
Yeah.
Hennessy is, I think 2.5, 2,500 rand. I just found that out recently, and I don't know where people are getting such money to put there when you can invest in your family, in your kids, in your studies, in yourself. So
vision, you need to find out a visionary person. The lady have to be a visionary person, and and the man have to be a visionary person. When two visionary people meet, it becomes a very enterprising journey. Yes. But another thing is that you need to find out that the person's vision is aligned with your own vision, because vision is a driving force. When a person begin to, I normally say to your people that a visionary person is temporarily mad until his vision is fulfilled. You see, when a person becomes passionate about his vision, he is not going to look into any other thing. So you need to make sure that your vision and the vision of the man is in total agreement, so that both of you can run that vision and have yourself together. You are into that vision and you have your partner also into that vision. All of you are going the same way. Why do you want to be a pop star and you get married to a pastor? It's not going to work. You understand what I'm
Who's going to buy the
So it is important that we come to that particular alignment of vision. This is a question that people ask before you start asking the person, what's your bank account? You ask the person, first of all, what's your vision? Because even if a person is broke, the person does not have money, but the person have vision. That person who have vision that does not have money today, what's more than the person who have R1 billion in his account, but he have no vision, because he's going to make you one and part of his property. Do you have anything to add to this?
No, I do not.
Okay. Passionate people is another person. That person need to be passionate. Passion is when you have found something that drives your life, something that you delight yourself in. And passionate people are very crazy people. So even when you find somebody that is passionate, make sure that the person is passionate about you. It is one thing for a person to be passionate about his business, but if he's not passionate about you, he's going to run with his vision and leave you behind. So if you're rolling with a person, make sure that you have a proof that the person is passionate about you, as well as the person is passionate about his business or is passionate about his career. Make sure that there is a proof of passion. Make sure that it's a proof of commitment. Commitment is an engagement, a pledge that people get into that disengages them from every other engagement. And you get what I'm saying? When a person plug into a thing, and what he plug into or what she plug into denies him the freedom to do every other thing. That is what you call commitment. Committed people they have a staying power in relationship. But when you see people who are never committed to something, they never committed to the life, they never get committed, they are keeping 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 relationships all the same time, those kind of people are not people that you can stay. We have so many of these things that we can use to diagnose great relationship and great marriage, but unfortunately our time is the limitation right here. We would have loved to give you so much of this. Talk about your consistency in relationship. We would have loved to talk about a lot of things that are backbones of marriages that will make it possible for you not to divorce or for you not to disengage yourself. And this is all that time can allow us to do. Ronke, can you sign off right now? Talk to these people and let them hear you once again.
Okay, so in conclusion, I would like to say that no matter what you're going through, no matter what's going on in your marriage. I am not experienced when it comes to marriage, but I am a child. And most of the time, the relationship my father and my mother have actually impact how I live my day-to-day life. So please, no matter what you're going through in your relationship, just try and make sure that it's impacting your children positively. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. From Ronke, a second year student of Pearson University.
Yes.
And that's what course are you reading?
A bachelor's degree of science in
information technology. That's how much we can take from her today. But all that we're saying today is that marriage is not a burden. It becomes a burden when you refuse to do little things that need to be tidied up in order to take it too far. Too far, I mean extremely far. When you neglect those little things that need to be done, then you are in for a huge problem in your married life. But I pray for you today, in the mighty name of Lord Jesus, that there will be a visitation of grace, that whatsoever that have been messed up in your relationship, that there will be intervention, that this season, all those marriages that are struggling, God is going to bring restoration. Your marriage is not going to be part of that relationship that the magistrate will begin to separate. Amen. I pray today that wisdom will come into your life, that sacrifice, commitment, the spirit of consistency that wears up difficult situations in married life will begin to come into your life, and you will go through today in the mighty name of the Lord Jesus. Amen. Thank you, MG, and all your crew for making this every week. I can't believe that we are 50 times by this particular studio coming out live on weekly basis. It's a great and monumental achievement, and we thank God for you. Thank you for your studio, and thank God for every one of you. See you next time. Bye. God bless you.